Hey, what is up, everyone? It has been a long time since I've gotten on and done a live, and I figured, uh, why not come on Thanksgiving Eve and say what's up and check in and see how everyone has been doing. Um, I'm okay. Sunday and Monday, I wasn't doing so well. Um, the crud tried to get me. Not COVID, not the flu, just my annual crud. And I'm going to tell y'all something. That Bissy tea apparently works. I mean, I don't know if it was really the Bissy tea. All I know is it feels like I don't have a cold. Um, but Sunday I woke up with my throat kind of sore, but not like a sore throat, and a headache and congestion and all of that. So I had already gone to the Asian supermarket where they sell everything. I'm telling y'all, Nam Daemon here in Georgia, this Asian farmers market, it's awesome. It's awesome. If you haven't been, you should totally try it. But yeah, Bissy tea. It's a Jamaican tea. It's called Bissy, and it's the business. So what I did was I mixed Bissy, some Ricola. I put about 2 of those cough drops in there, some honey, and of course, since it's Jamaican, some Appleton Estate rum in there. And I drank that, and I also took some Mucinex too. Did about 2 rounds of that, and I was good. The problem is the next day I was groggy and out of it. So anyways, get some Bissy tea. All I know, I found it at the Asian supermarket. You can find it probably any Caribbean or any place that sells like ethnic foods or whatever. So I'm just saying. But anyways, I just wanted to check in and see how everyone's doing. I haven't done a check-in in a while. My job has been mad crazy. I have not had time to hardly breathe. We are on the deadline. We have until the 30th to get a bunch of shit done. I'm not one to be negative, but I just don't see it happening. But I'm remaining optimistic that a miracle is going to happen at the 25th hour. I really do believe that. Hey, Renee. But this last month has been ridiculous, which is probably how I ended up almost getting sick, because we are all stressed out and stretched to our limits. And I'm just like, and folk dropping like flies, people going out on medical leave, some people that caught COVID. Yeah, it's all bad up in the hood, but we press on. Either way, what else is going on? Not going home for the holidays, not going to congregate with anybody on the holidays. I know some people are opting to do that. Good for you. I just feel like it's just best to stay at home and be alone than to be a party of one in a hospital and you ain't got nobody that can come see you. But I will say this, I do think that the masks are highly effective. I just think that some people choose not to want to believe it because their God, known as Raging Orange, has told them that you really don't need to wear a mask. For some reason, the Republican regime still wants to tout that, but at least now some of them are starting to come around. Isn't it a beautiful day when the GSA finally said, you know what, the Biden transition team can begin? I don't know about y'all, but the Saturday when they finally said, Biden is the president-elect, that was the best night of sleep I got in almost 4 years. There was so much anxiety, and I'm still a little paranoid because we don't know what this crazy man is going to do. Because, he crazy. And I said, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. This fucker is up here tearing up shit in the White House, destroying public property, or whatever. We just don't know what he doing. Because I don't understand why you can't concede. Your own attorneys have told you is not winnable. Judges are throwing out cases left and right. your own governors, your minions, albeit Brian Kemp here in Georgia begrudgingly, said certified Biden for the win. But I just find it so fascinating that he continues to do this. And now, in recent news, he has pardoned Mike Flynn. That's problematic, not strategic. Unless, I don't know, he disappeared off to Russia somewhere or Ecuador, someplace that doesn't have extradition. But there will come a time when he will have to answer for the things that Trump has done. Because that's why he's clawing so hard to stay in office and get money and stack chips and paper, because he knows that the American people are not going to sit back and not let Joe Biden win and not do something about the crimes that this man has committed against this great nation. He has betrayed us. He has looted us. He has used nepotism to get things done. He has hooked up his friends. This by far is the most ratchet, ghettoest presidency I've ever seen in my umpteen years. Hey, Cheryl, big sis in the house. What you cooking? What you cooking? I know you cooking something. You got to be baking something. Here's what I thought, and my best friend and I were talking today about this in general. I get so perturbed with the Democrats and how so lackadaisical they are, or seem to be lackadaisical. But we also theorize that what is happening is everyone has been sitting back and letting this man hang himself, for lack of a better term. In other words, just like my stepmom, my bonus mom, she always used to tell me, she said, I believe in giving kids just enough slack to hang themselves. And I just have to pull you on back. So what is happening, I think they've stacked enough cases against this man for him to get prosecuted and put in jail for life. Because it's treasonous. At the end of the day, he did a lot of things that he wasn't supposed to do. The Hatch Act, the emollients clause, you name it. He probably any crime you can think of against America, a violation, he's done it. So I'm hoping that what happened, but if not, then we know we got to do as American people. We got to hit the streets. Something has to be done about him. We got to hit the streets. We got to hit the phones. We got to do something, because you're going to be held accountable for the bullshit that you did. You and your family. Ivanka, we coming for you. And what's her husband name? Jared Kushner. All of them. Beavis and Butthead. And now one of the Buttheads, Junior, he done got COVID. I'm just like, at this point, y'all need to just go ahead and recognize and realize that COVID is real and anybody can get it and no one is immune. Okay. Then on top of that, what else has happened? I don't know. I'm just glad that I know come January 20th at noon Eastern time, my time, that fool's supposed to be up and out. And I don't even think they should give him a ride on Air Force One. I think they should just give him a Mayflower truck and tell him to ride in the middle next to somebody, with the two people that's going to help him move his shit out. Get your shit and get out. On another note, since I'm on here and I haven't had time to do any reviews or anything. Look, have me read the Hatch Act every day to be in compliance. See? But I don't know if you all have been watching, but my guilty pleasures is always found on OWN. Why, Renee, why you laughing? So anyways, have you been watching that show, Put a Ring on It, on OWN, or Ready to Love on OWN? These are all Will Packer productions. put a ring on it. I love this show because it's about couples who have been together for a while and are not sure if they're ready to take that next step of jumping the broom, right? So they have this fabulous marriage and family therapist, I believe is what she is. Dr. Nicole is on there and she's coaching him. And I love this show because she sets them up on dates. Okay. So they get to date other people. And if there's a spark or something, do you want to see this person again? The majority of the couples have said no. The most problematic couple on here is a couple named Shay and Michael. And the reason why they are problematic is because Shay is selfish, self-centered, and only sees what she wants for herself. Okay? Last week, we found out that Michael has a son. Maybe it was the week before, but I binge watched this on Monday while I was on the sick and shut-in list because I said I'm going to enjoy myself as far as I'm going to relax and just do nothing and get better. So, anyway, she said, well, I'm not really comfortable with him coming to live with us. I mean, every time he was here, I mean, he's a good kid, but I mean, it's like 3 people are here for dinner. And then during the group session, she said, well, I just feel like Mike and his son, that's a separate thing. Okay. When it's me and him, it's me and him. And whenever his son comes into town, they can just get an Airbnb. Say what now? You've been with this man for 6 years off and on. You've known this child for half his life, and you want to get shit and start saying crazy ass shit like they can get an Airbnb because it's all about me? Who raised you and who behaves this way? Here's my thing. You people who get with these people that already have children, they're a package deal. And if any man or any woman is willing to abandon their child for a relationship with someone who don't want to be bothered with their child, I got to question that person. Okay? Because I can tell you, if I was a parent, which I'm not, but I do believe that common sense and Mother Nature would kick in and tell me, this person is not interested in your child being around. Well, then we don't get down like that. Hell, right now, dating wise, if you don't like my dog, we can't be together. So imagine if I had an actual child. So Michael, I don't even know how he even got with her because the girl ghosted him not once but twice, and he took her back this 3rd time, and now she's trying to push him to marry him. I'm like, who the fuck gonna marry you, Shay? You're selfish and self-centered. And one of my questions I want Dr. Nicole to ask, is she an only child? Because you got to be an only child to be that goddamn selfish. You got to be. Let's see, what else? Ready to Love. Of course, I love this show. I used to review it. I reviewed it the first cycle. They're saying this is season 2, but really it's season 3 or the 3rd cycle. Messy. It's a chick on there that looked like Kenya Moore, but the light-skinned version, which Kenya Moore would probably hate her for being a little more fair-skinned, but either way, that's neither here nor there. That's Kenya's problems. But Simone is an attorney. Simone has even shared on my Twitter to me directly that she has psychological issues because she has daddy issues. And I keep telling Will Packer on Twitter all the time, I'm like, dude, you need to set this show up not only to have Tommy there, but you also need to consider doing like counseling sessions. Because some of these people are claiming that they're ready for love, but they're really ready for a therapist chair. The worst character on there is this chick named Denise. Denise has body for days, skin like silk, and she is so fucking insecure and such a hater and so easily offended. Like Rashid, who seems to be very sweet and innocent, albeit he's a Kappa, which is my weakness, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. Can't nobody love you like a Kappa man. But either way, As soon as they got ready to start talking about eliminations, this heifer started saying, well, Rashid strikes me as being narcissistic because he's light skinned, he's in a fraternity, and he has a luxury brand. I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with a narcissist? And so this other chick that's on there, Adriana, she knows him because they had gone out on a date and she ghosted him because she really wasn't ready for love at that time. So now they're meeting here, for a second time. And I think they're probably going to end up together. I could be wrong. It's all speculative because Lord knows last season, a couple we thought were going to be together ended up not being together. So either way, Denise immediately starts in on them. It's obvious that she does not like Adriana. It's obvious she doesn't like Rashid. We get it. You don't like Rashid because he reminds you of your abuser, your narcissistic abuser who kidnapped you for 4 days and tried to kill you. I get that. That is why someone like that should not even be on the show. Because whatever demons she's dealing with, she needs to deal with them. And, somebody put up a picture where it was her and this other chick from the last cycle. They said they starting to see a pattern. I said, yeah, they got short hair, they're a little dark skinned and got some mental issues. Yeah, they don't need to be on there. Okay. But she's a track coach too, because I'm like, girl, and she got a great body, but her attitude is so stank. I'm like, until you deal with whatever insecurities is that you have, you'll never be ready to love. She told this one dude, she said, I'm not afraid to put the gloves on to fight for you. And that's when he looked at her like, this bitch is crazy. Maybe some men like that. I don't know. I'd be terrified and run if I was a man and a woman told me that. I'd be like, oh, this heifer might fight anybody. She like, street fighter shit, like Mortal Kombat finisher, Okay. And then I'm so glad they sent Shay and Alicia home. I'm still trying to figure out what Shay was there for. I don't even remember what her backstory was. They said she was a chef, and I was like, what chef she chefing for? She couldn't even be my chef because she talked too damn much. Every time you look up, she telling everybody's business but her own. Ooh, I saw so-and-so going so-and-so's room. Why don't you worry about who coming in your room? That's right, ain't nobody coming because you always talk too much. And then Alicia, I think Alicia really more or less got sent home because Alicia just was too damn aggressive for her own good. And she got mad at this one dude, Brian, because Brian really was feeling this other chick, Alex, more so than her. And he said he would come back and he didn't. I'm like, girl, by now, dudes lie like that all the time. I mean, you ain't never been ghosted on the app. That shit happens all the time. They say they call you, they enjoyed the date, ha, 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 hug, kiss, kiss, kiss. And then you might not hear from them ever again until maybe 2 months later when they bored and it's late night and they feel like texting you. Trust me, I know the game. But she got in her feelings and she told him, I am no longer going to pursue you. And I was like, honey, trust me, he is more relieved than not that you were not going to pursue him because he had no intentions of pursuing you. He's not interested in you. Then Simone told that Winter had, who was it? Was it Jay? I forgot which one of them fine chocolate brothers she had. Anyway, she told, ooh, he went in her room with no shirt on. Yeah, they just came from the pool. Then when Joy and Winter confronted her about it, Joy, by the way, is a fan favorite and the guy favorite. She has this fabulous hair and this fabulous personality. She's just really cute. Simone says, I don't know why I did it. I was like, oh my God, this is the Kenya Moore defense mode. Start tearing up. Like, I don't know why I did it. I think it was coming from a place I hurt. I need more work. And I'm just like, you did. I ain't gonna lie. I used to be Simone. I did that shit probably, and I remember I did it in undergrad one time. Actually, I did it twice. Was I was in my feelings at the time, and I don't know why I did it. Honestly, it's just something that just came over me, and I just, blurted out some shit I shouldn't have. And to this day, I don't know why I did that, but oh well. it happens, but that happened in my 20s. So by the time I got to be 23, 24, life had changed. Um, but the damage had already been done. But she started crying because, I mean, I was like, why would you even make that gossip? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are creeping in and out of each other's rooms. Y'all are on a resort. It's only y'all. That's the whole point of it. Find love so you can focus, because usually in the Ready to Love, everyone goes back to their respective homes. But this time they decided to put them on the resort, and they kind of didn't have a choice but to, because we're in a COVID environment, right? And so, either way, I just kind of wanted to just talk about that briefly. I see everybody must be busy making turkey, and nobody wants to talk to me tonight. I don't know why. I think I'm pretty dope. Oh, excuse me. Oh, and on another note, because one of my friends brought this up on her page, and I guess she feels some type of way about my opinion on the matter. I'm sorry, y'all, but I just can't compare apples to oranges and not give my logical, psychological opinion on something. Netflix, Dave Chappelle, Monique. So, as what often happens to a lot of young people or neophytes to the entertainment industry, they don't fully understand what it is that they're signing. And for the life of me, I thought that at that stage, Dave Chappelle would have been established enough to have an attorney review his contractual dealings with Comedy Central at the time of creation of the Chappelle Show. So whatever this agreement was, it gave Comedy Central the ability to license. Basically, they own the licensing rights or whatever. And so all of a sudden, now the Chappelle Show is on Netflix, right? Now, as we know, Dave Chappelle has made quite a nesting in Netflix, right? So basically, when you have contracts, like, I don't know what's in the contract that Dave Chappelle signed at the time that he signed with Comedy Central, but I would imagine that if no one went over it, or if a novice attorney went over it, there are certain things that may have been missed. I don't know. All I know is this, is that in contracts law, we'll say things like something becomes unconscionable. And that means that sometimes the bargaining power of the ones offering the contract tend to be more than, it's like having an expert and a novice, basically, is what it is. And so, in other words, his understanding was not as great as that. And so, in other words, it's kind of a trickery, it's kind of misrepresentation, but at the end of the day, it was unconscionable of what he signed. And so Comedy Central is allowing Netflix to stream it, and so Dave Chappelle apparently has asked people to boycott, but Netflix has since removed it from its roster. And then my friend brought up the fact that we were willing to boycott Netflix. First of all, I didn't even know anything about it. I had to go Google it to find out. I didn't even know anything about this. But I did notice, like the other day when I was on Netflix, look, oh, the Chappelle Show is on here. But I own the Chappelle Show. I bought the DVDs a long time ago. And the point she was trying to make is that we were willing to stand up for Dave Chappelle, and we were not willing to stand up for Monique. The reason why I would be willing to boycott Netflix on GP is because, number one, when you have a talent like that of Dave Chappelle, who is in-house at Netflix, don't insult him by taking a licensing agreement that you know is that at the time of its making was signed under some sort of falsehood or whatever. When it comes to talking about Monique, the issue is this. She brought up a subject matter that had to do with discrimination, particularly disparate treatment, and racial discrimination among white comics versus black comics, male versus female. Okay. And the problem with Monique's cry for us to boycott is that, to me personally, it just wasn't steeped in reality. Number one, Amy Schumer sells out stadiums. When was the last time she sold out a stadium? It is okay for her to have been an Oscar winner, but when was the last time you had any type of comedy circuit or show going on? That's the issue for me when it came to Monique. It had nothing to do with her and her daddy, which, by the way, she says the reason why she calls her husband daddy is because he's raising her. I said, I didn't know that you needed to be raised at 50 years old, but okay, or however old she is. So basically all I'm saying is this. I know some of y'all may feel some type of way and feel like, oh, y'all gonna stand up for Dave Chappelle. Hell yeah, I'll stand up for Dave Chappelle because that's a legitimate legal argument. It's not to do whether it's on paper or not. It's just the principle of it. And the fact that Monique was stirring the pot because in that moment she was having a tantrum because she thought, I'm an Oscar winner, therefore I should get a $20 million deal. And that is not what happened, because Netflix is looking. And I even said in that moment, I said, when they told you that, the first thing, if they had said, Afia, we like you, we think you're great. But at the same time, I would have been like, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put together my own comedy tour and see how these shows sell out. I mean, when was the last time she had done that? And quite frankly, when you're looking at the quality of it, I like Monique as far as the body of work she has done in the past. But when I look back on her comedy, I just don't think that it's funny. People don't always find me funny either. But with her, it's all about aesthetics and about taste. I saw the Showtime special or Epics or whatever special it was that she done. I wasn't the least bit impressed. And I was like, where's the funny? I was waiting for it. Where's the funny? So that in of itself, there may have been some discriminatory practices, but I saw no legitimacy in her argument at the time. I think somebody else, another female comedian, said that Netflix lowballed her and she went with someone else too. So always shop your deal. That's something to consider too. Shop your deal. And quite frankly, Chappelle brought up a very legit argument. There are organizations that will take advantage of you and have you sign deals. And you're thirsty at the time, and hey Bradley, I didn't even realize you were on here. Queen of comedy. Yes, she was a queen of comedy. But like I said, when I look back on it, it really wasn't that funny to me. It just wasn't. To each their own. But it wasn't. And that special she did for Showtime, it fell flat. I think there was maybe one extremely funny person. I mean, it is what it is. I do comedy too, and I know that I am not all that funny to everyone, but you gotta have something. You gotta have a setup and a punch. Some of these people, she don't even have setup and punch. Okay. Exactly, Bradley. She overtalks herself. She really does. So, I love you, my dear friend. I'm not going to say any names. Although anyone who we're mutual friends with will know what we're talking about. But I just wanted to put that out there. It's not because it's about it being on a piece of paper. It was written. It's just the fact that it just didn't make any sense when she was bringing up for herself. Because we were all just sitting there like, Monique, when was the last time you sold out a stadium or sold out a comedy club? Like, when was it? Hey, Angela. Hey, girlfriend. I mean, when was the last time you did that? So, I mean, unconscionable contracts versus ego. I'm just saying. And she definitely needs to fire her husband as her manager. And she definitely needs to get management that does not have. You need to separate that. Sometimes having a husband as a manager is not a good idea. It works for some people, but not for all. That's all I'm saying. And yes, I'm wearing my sparkly winter hat. I got this from Akira. I need to stay off of Akira or Akira. I don't know what they call it. You speak with a good point. I mean, but Bradley, I mean, I'm sorry. I will, if there is a certain cause, I will definitely rock with you on some shit. I will. If I feel like, yeah, this woman is being done wrong, which female comment, her husband is a trick. I don't know what voodoo he did on her, but Monique like does not have her own mind, it seems sometimes. I'm just like, girl, what is going on? Um, but I just really want people to understand that when it comes to certain things, Afia is not going to hop on the bandwagon, and foolery I cannot hop on and be a part of. Some shit I've gotten caught up in, like when we were all up there, we got duped. Some of us, like myself, were duped by Jussie Smollett, Juicy Smollett. We were duped by him. So I now I have to kind of be very careful about who I co-sign on to. But with Dave Chappelle, I feel like he had a legitimate argument, legitimate stance. You are now going to take advantage and reap the benefits of my body of work that you didn't properly negotiate that contract and you had me sign under whatever circumstances it was. So I think that Netflix did the right thing because he has another special out on Netflix. Like he just dropping specials everywhere, ain't he? I'm just like, God damn. Um, but I do enjoy comedy. I do enjoy stand up. I will say that being a stand up comic during the pandemic for me has been very lucrative. I've had 3 bookings, 3 very nicely paid bookings. So I'm doing all right with mine. Maybe one day I'll get a Netflix special or something. I don't know. We gotta work that out. Um, Comedy is not per se my first love. My first love would probably be behind the scenes, negotiating contract deals and raising funds for independent artists to get their work out. And investing in films and stuff like that. That's what I would prefer to be doing. But if comedy will get me what I want to do, let's do it. And ultimately practice law too. But shit, what happens to a dream deferred? Anyway, I'm gonna get off of here because I'm not feeling that great. My ass to sit up here and let myself starve today. So now I have this hungry headache, even though I've ate, and now I can't get rid of it. So I'm probably gonna lay it down, and I'll probably cook tomorrow. Um, what y'all cooking? I'm gonna try to cook a duck this year. I'm gonna try to do duck confit. We'll see if it works out. Y'all pray for me. I wonder because I see they always have the duck cut up in pieces, but I wonder if I cook the whole duck and make it duck confit. I don't know why the French call it that. I thought it was duck confiti. Comfy. We going to be talking. Okay, we going to be talking. Okay, well, just holler at me. You can hit me up in my inbox, Bradley. Thanks for joining the conversation. Thank you, Renee. And thank you, Cheryl. And thank you, Angela, for silently watching. Anyways, y'all have a good night. Hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. I hope everyone's doing okay. And remember, don't let this holiday be your last holiday, all because you just thought you would die if you couldn't go get some of Big Mama's bread or dressing or turkey. Do what you like, but life is made up of choices. Make sure you choose wisely. I usually make Cornish hens every year. I didn't make Cornish hens this year. I'm trying duck this time. Because I love duck. I really do. I love duck. And I've never made it, but I bought one from the little Asian market. Here's the problem. I said, is it wrong that if I had a pet duck and I ate duck, would that be wrong? I'm just asking for a friend. I don't have a duck yet, but I probably will get a duck eventually. I plan to buy property in the country and get a ranch or a farm and have like a duck pond and all of that stuff. So this, yeah. Either way, I gotta go. Oh shit. Anyways, y'all have a good night, and I'll probably hop on here tomorrow because why not? Stay fabulous. I've been Miss Sophia the Diva.